what's up everyone, Bet speaking, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you. In this video I'll be covering UFC Fight Night 180, Ortega versus the Korean Zombie. If you're familiar to my channel, you know the drill here, you know how to use this spreadsheet to your best interest. If you're not, there's a link in the description where I'm explaining in details. And if you're interested in the breakdowns of the fights, I'm also in each timestamp where you guys can click and browse over each fight to hear the breakdown. So real quick, just covering the results and how you some preview on the spreadsheet. I'm keeping track of my results from July 2020. So as of now, I'm up to top 225% or almost 50% from the original betting money. Okay, so in this spreadsheet, I'm also breaking down in terms of high, medium, and low confidence level of the bets, and how each one is adding up here, as well as in the chart how I'm doing each month. So July, August, September, now in October, how I'm doing. It's in terms of the high, medium, and low confidence levels and the profit associated with each. Okay, so now on to the breakdown of the fights. I'm gonna breaking down the main card here. If you're interested in prelims, stay tuned for that because I'll be uploading soon the video. So the prelims start with Thomas Almeida. The main card, sorry, starts with the Thomas Almeida versus Jonathan Martinez. Okay, this is an awesome fight, guys. High level striking from both sides. Almeida more like an aggressive guy. Actually, he used it to be very aggressive. Then he started tempering a little bit his aggression, started moving his head a little bit better. But still, he's got that speed, he's got that power. So yeah, it's tough to tell more than that. Basically, I'm gonna probably repeat some things here, but great things like straight punches. Times, like to throw his strikes together with his opponent. He has got great power, knees up the middle. Also can go creative. Once he corrals his opponent, he can go flying knees. Very tough guy to take down, tough to hold down, massive experience. He's quite young, he's 29 or something, but still has over 20 fights. And the thing of Almeida is that when he trades and once he starts getting hit, he kind of keeps trading with his opponent, but in a static manner. He tries to keep his hands up, but still he gets hit with some shots, and that caused him some fights before. Now with Martinez, also great striker, much more calm, cool, collected. Actually, both of these guys. Martinez, what I feel the difference here that's why I'm actually picking and betting Martinez. Technically, they are kind of similar. Martinez, he tends to use the technique a little bit better, whereas Almeida, he combines the technique with the power and the intention. But the thing is that Martinez has much better defense, much tighter defense. He's a little bit tougher to hit, and also he's much tougher in terms of resistance. Almeida, he's a tough guy. He'll be in the fight. He will not back down. But his chin has been tested before, and he felt guys' power before. Whereas Martinez is still quite fresh in his career, and a very tough guy, like I'm saying. So, like I said, the way I see this playing out, I see Martinez being able to, maybe eat some shots, but giving back to Almeida, and Almeida wears damage more. And I think Martinez will be able to inflict more damage and eventually getting a TKO here, okay? That's why I'm picking and betting Martinez. I'm also interested in betting Martinez in either TKO or decision if you get to these lines, to this level here. Now, Crute versus Modestas Bukauskas. So Crute, he's like he's more like a well-rounded guy, even though he tends to do better in the grappling. Standing, he tends to throw some overhands. He likes to use some kicks. He's not bad, but he's a little bit small for a heavyweight. He's young. He's 23, so he has the use power, to compensate his lack of size and a little bit lack of power in the hands. But still striking, he makes some mistakes. He kind of tends to throw shots like in straight lines, or at least he keeps his chin up, or he doesn't throw that much power. Now, in terms of the grappling, he's a great grappler. He has good takedowns. He can be tenacious with that. He can keep the game, top game. He can be heavy from top, even though he's not that big man. So he's more like complete fighter, whereas Bukauskas, he's like a complete fighter himself, but he doesn't have anything outstanding in my opinion. But always in the fight, basically, good overall striking, good straight punches, footwork. He tries to keep the middle circle in the cage. What else I have here? Yeah, that eventually he makes his mistakes, he exposes himself, and he can be hit. And he's not easy to take down, but he can be taken down. But he's quite good standing up. So, like I said in the beginning, nothing outstanding, and I think the safe pick him is Crute by TKO, and the way I see it, him taking, top position, maybe in a mount and landing ground and pound. Now, Bukauskas, he's gonna be in the fight, like I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna be able to TKO Crute, even though he has a little bit more power than Jim. I think if he's gonna win, gonna be by decision or a late round, stoppage maximum, if he can accumulate damage, because like I said, Crute tends to hold that chin up and whatnot. So maybe some prop bets here to consider Bukauskas by decision if you can get him at plus 600, which is a huge line. Or in round 3 maybe, I think it's not a bad bet. Like I said, Bukauskas tough guy. Or, Crute, like I said, by TKO or submission at plus 500 gonna be probably a good bet to take. On to the next fight, Katlin Chookagian versus Jessica Andrade. Tough fight to call. I'm back and forth in here, guys, to be honest. Chookagian, very tall, long flyweight. She manages her distance pretty well, uses her jab very nicely, She also uses the kicks, especially to the legs and to the head. And question mark kicks, some, can throw a cross behind the kicks or even behind the jab. Also, her ground game is not bad. Actually, her last fight, she showed a good strategy against Antonina Shevchenko. She took her down with body locks, kept the top position, good positioning, good body weight on top. But the thing is that Chookagian, she's not like the fastest girl, neither the most powerful girl, and I feel that against a brawler, against a heavy pressure fighter as Andrade can be, I think she's gonna struggle a little bit, But I say a little bit because, like I said, it's not tough because she's so much taller. I think she has 8 inches in height. I'm not sure how that translates to reach, but minimum that, because she has quite long arms. Now Andrade, she used it to be like very, aggressive brawler, throwing hooks like crazy, like John Lineker style, going forward and throwing hooks, throwing her double leg and slamming girls. She adjusted a little bit after she got TKO'd by the Chinese champion. I forgot her name, I'm sorry. But then she adjusted, she's twitching a lot on her movement, lots of head movement, which is a great style for her, She's going to be a little bit tougher to hit. Still, she can implement that powerful, wild swing, hooking kind of game plan, which is the takedowns, That being said, I think Andrade has more chances to win this fight because she can get the TKO, like I said. But I'm not sure, because it's going to be tough to get inside that reach. And even though Chookagian not going to be able to overpower her, not going to be able really to get her respect, I think Chookagian can basically outland her. Andrade can use her, Chookagian can use her footwork to circle, to keep her on the outside. Andrade basically can just swing on the misses, So, still, I think Andrade, if she can get inside, she's the more powerful girl. She has much more strength, and I think she can get a TKO here. But Chookagian by decision is definitely a good bet. If you can get her like plus 400 or even plus 350 maybe, should be a good bet on her. Or Andrade by TKO, like I said, plus 500, it would be a good bet in my opinion. Cyril Gane versus Ante Delija. Great heavyweight bout. Gane, the massive man, super technical on the kickboxing, super calm. He also showed a great all-rounded game. Can take guys down, can take a mount position, can throw ladder from the ground and pound top position. And Delija, he's also a great fighter, a big heavyweight himself. I think he's 6'5". He's probably on top of the division in terms of weight. He's super aggressive, the guy puts his hands up, and goes throwing, straight punches, and he goes, forward, he goes hard. Once he has his opponent in the cage, he can shoot double legs. And from the top, he's a nightmare, massive ground and pound, that much power, like I'm saying, Also, not a bad grappler, actually. He's not a good grappler, but he can throw chokes from top because he's big and strong. He can do that a little bit as well. So the thing is that he makes more mistakes, especially from the second round when he gets tired. And I think the most likely scenario, even if Delija starts fast, he can even win round 1. I think Gane gonna come on top and gonna TKO him. But like I said, Gane has never been pressured before, has never been in deep waters, and I think Delija can give him that, can bring the pressure, can land heavily on him, can surprise Gane, even get a TKO himself, you never know. So I think Delija at plus 400 is definitely a good bet. I got him at plus 450, so I'm pretty happy with that. Because like I said, I think he's gonna come out hard, gonna come out fast, and gonna have Gane a run for his money. But definitely the pick is Gane, and the bet is in Delija, like I said, by TKO. If you can get Gane by TKO also, plus 400 is probably worth a bet. Or Delija TKO, or even submission. I think Delija can like hurt Gane on the feet and get the submission or something. Brian Ortega versus Jung, the Korean zombie. Also another great fight. Brian Ortega, he has a boxing style on the feet which is pretty interesting. He does lots of shoulder rolling. He'll do the switch moving. He gives his head, he pulls back. But the thing is, in an MMA fight, it's not that smart to do that because you can get hit a lot because of the size of the gloves and whatnot, and the way the guy throws combos. It's very different from boxing. That's why he gets hit a lot. But still, he has quite effective style there. Ortega is also a very big flyweight himself, long limbs. So I think he has great, great stand-up. And the problem is that he gets hit a lot, like I said. But on the flip side, Ortega, that grappling is just in another level. Those chokes and those triangles are just nasty. You can be sure that Jung not gonna want to mess with Ortega in the ground. Now Jung, great all-rounded fighter. He developed his style being an effective striker. He can move a little bit inside of the octagon. He can throw the blitzes. He can be creative with a flying knees. He also has got power. Great takedown defense. He can get guys down. He's strong himself, long guy himself, broad shoulders, as has Ortega. So in terms of power and size, this guy is pretty much matched very well. And Jung is always in the fight. He can never count the guy out. He can get hit a little bit, as we have seen before, but he has a strong chin himself, as Ortega. So pretty good matchup. I'm back and forth here as well, but I think ultimately I'm gonna be picking Jung by TKO because of the way Ortega fights. I think he can eat much more shots unless he brings something different here, which I don't see much of a small chance. I think Ortega can surprise us. I think he can bring a different game plan here, maybe go, heavy wrestling or somehow adjust his striking style a little bit and basically dominate the fight, but still I'll go with the safe way, which I think is Jung. Now, in terms of bet, I think Ortega is definitely worth plus 150. I'm back and forth in here, so to me it's kind of a pick-em fight. Maybe Jung with a small edge, so it's plus 150. 150, I think Ortega is definitely worth a bet, okay? Or on the prop bets, you can go for Jung by TKO or Ortega by submission at plus 500. Or decision, or either of these guys, like I said, plus 500. So just to wrap this up, in terms of the bets I'm placing, you guys will see here many of that I didn't cover, but those are prelims fights, which I'll be updating the video soon. So fights that we covered were Jessica Andrade versus Katlin Chookagian. I'm skipping this fight. I don't think there's much value of either of these girls at these lines. Maybe Chookagian if she climbs, over plus 150. Jonathan Martinez, I'm betting 2% of my money on him. I'm also skipping the fight of Modestas Bukauskas versus Crute, unless I can get those prop bets like I said. I have then Ante Delija plus 450, throwing 1% of my money. And I have Brian Ortega, I got him at plus 160. I'm throwing 1.5% of my money. Okay, so stay tuned for the rest of the fight, like I said. And until there, this is Rodder Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.